It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be
forward.
like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
My name is Lishay Carlsa. I'm from Elsie Cape Town, and I work for Street Talk as a researcher and an editor.
I'm Lauren. I am from Langa in Cape Town, originally from the Eastern Cape, like Mo. I did my undergrad at Stellenbosch in political science and history. I'm currently doing my honors at UCT, specializing in gender and transformation.
And my name is Mohadia. I'm from the Eastern Cape, and I'm currently a second-year master's student at Stellenbosch University.
I am Aurora. I am the co-founder of the Cora Project and also a second-year master's student at the United Nations Institute.
Hi guys, I'm Cleo. I'm also co-founder of the Cora Project. Raw and I are sisters. I'm also an entrepreneur and founder of a creative agency, content creator, and fashion editor.
I'm Danelle. I'm second year at UWC. I'm studying industrial psychology.
My husband actually, he is pretty chilled. He doesn't really chat to me, he won't talk about periods and menstruation a lot, but he's quite open, he's chilled, he's supportive when I'm on my period. But the other day I got my period and I've started using the menstrual cup. So anyways, I bought a new cup and I boiled it and everything, and then I was about to put it in after my shower. So I put it in, but then, I don't know if you've ever used the menstrual cup, it needs to open properly, else it leaks through. And it usually opens up when you put it in, but it was a bit bent because you fold it and you put it in and it opens, but it hadn't opened properly. So anyways, I'm standing there trying to now have to take this thing out, and I've just gotten my nails done and they're really long now. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is I've already had one menstrual cup incident where I couldn't get it out for about half an hour and nearly called my doctor. So anyways, that was okay. I'm also quite a chilled person. I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to, sorry for swearing, I'm gonna have to call my doctor now. She's gonna have to somehow remove this cup. Anyway, so take two, I put it in, it's in there now, I need to get it out. It's stuck. I can't get it out and I'm hurting myself because of my long nails. So eventually I had to call my husband and I was like, you need to take this menstrual cup out of me. I can't anymore. And it's quite a, in-depth situation. And he was like, okay, cool. And he's like, just stand straight. And he's telling me what to do. And he's like, okay, I think I've got it. And I'm doing Kegels, and anyways, he eventually got it out and he's like, okay, here we go, gave it to me, and then he carried on doing what he was doing. And I was like, nice. I was like, he didn't, he wasn't oh my gosh, that's a bit hectic. So I was quite impressed with that incident.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
My current boyfriend is super open and actually quite interested in it, and obviously we started an NPO last year tackling period poverty. So we are always talking about periods and researching things, and I'm always posting about it. So yeah, he's actually quite open about it. So I'm lucky in that regard.
When I was younger, maybe I wouldn't have been able to share it with my partners, but my current partner is also very open. And I think that because I'm more mature as well, and I'm not ashamed about it, I have, found confidence in it, and it makes me feel empowered to be a woman and whatnot. So I feel like I'd be very open. I'd be very able to speak about it, in fact, to anyone at this point, because I feel like it should be destigmatized, and it should be something that we can speak about freely without feeling ashamed, without feeling embarrassed if it happens.
I've only been in one serious relationship in my life. So I've never, like Mo said, with maturity comes an understanding and comes a self-worth and comes a confidence in your humanity in essence. So then, I don't know, I saw this tweet this other day that said anyone that you dated before 25 is not an ex, that's your childhood friend, child. So I think with my childhood friends, I just didn't have the capacity, nor was I I wasn't there to educate people on those things, and it's not my place. I think he needed to get his education somewhere else. But right now, with maturity and understanding, I will have that conversation with anyone. My current partner, I do have those conversations with him. It is easier for me to talk about my period with him. I do feel comfortable even going to him on my period because I know it's a safe space, and it's a safe space in everything, not just with my mental health, but with my body and everything.
In South Africa, 1 in 3 girls miss school when they're on their period because they can't access or afford menstrual products, which is a crazy statistic. That's 30% of.
So do you guys think that pads and tampons should be like publicly and free condoms, or that's there? Like you can get it anyway, you know, sometimes like public schools, sometimes public toilets, whatever is just there. So do you guys think that pads should also like be freely, easily accessible?
For sure, 100%. They should be accessible to anyone and everyone who needs them. Menstruation isn't a choice, it's a human right, and getting the correct menstrual care for your period should be a human right.
I recall at varsity, people always like the debate always went on about how condoms are free when sex is a choice, and like you said, menstruation is not a choice. So why is it not free? And I remember back then they already started with the pad drives, and that was like about 2015 already. So I feel that the movement has been coming along, and it has been growing, where people have been advocating for pads to be free, because I remember someone mentioned a statistic that said some girls stay out of school for like a week or so because they don't have pads. And I felt that, you know, it should definitely be free, because now people, like you said, it's a human right. People, your right to education is being affected by the fact that you cannot get a pad or something like that, and some people just can really not afford it. So it should be free, because why are we having condoms and not pads that are easily at our disposal, you know?
I was in high school and I was just, my flow was extremely heavy, and my doctor had told me that, I'm small and I'm losing a lot of blood, for the size that I am. And I was getting really bad cramps. I wasn't able to, walk and sleep at hostel because it was too cold. And I feel like, sometimes it does. And it definitely, your emotions are all over the place. I feel like we should be given like some sort of lenience, when it comes to that time of the month, because I feel like I was privileged enough to go to an all-girls school where they were like a bit more sensitive. So I could just be like, I just started my period, my cramps are very bad. I'm not gonna be able to make it today. And they'll be like, okay, you can stay at home. But I feel like it should happen in more places, and a lot of people should be given the opportunity to be able to say, okay, I can't do today, because of this. And it's not my fault, because
100%, because I feel like we all, like some of us, when we have our period, some of us will be pain, like intense pain, like to the point where you can't even, like you said, walk or whatever. And sometimes men, obviously they won't understand like the pain that it is we go through and things like that. That's why I wanted to ask you guys, like, do you think that women should be allowed menstrual leave?
When I was between the ages of like 16 and 20, I used to get such bad cramps that I'd like be physically not be able to even walk. I used to vomit because of my cramps. It was the most excruciating pain. I remember lying in the UCT library because I actually couldn't move, and my mom having to come fetch me at the age of 20. So I definitely do think that, there needs to be as you said, like leniency towards it, even if it's maybe you don't get a week off every month, but there's a certain amount of days that you can use when you really just can't. And also it affects your mental health like drastically, I find.
And it's like when you get sick, it's something physical that you can't control, and It's the same thing as when you're on your period. Some people do get really bad cramps. Some people can't walk. I personally am lucky enough. I've never had such bad cramps where I would be physically ill, but a lot of my friends did, and they would have to take off sick from school. And I think in the working world, where you obviously only do get certain amount of leave days and certain amount of sick days, I think it's important for them to have something a little bit more leniency, maybe a few extra days for women when they are menstruating and they just simply can't actually function.
I feel that it should be a choice for women, because like you guys said, some of us get extremely intense pains, and others we do not get so bad. The pains are not that bad. So I feel like it should be a choice, or at least just take into account everybody's struggles, man. And as women, we just can't help getting periods. We can't change it. It is just happening, and that's what people don't understand. It's like we now decide today, okay, today I'm gonna have my period, and it's not like that. It happens unexpectedly. Even if you do stay, you have a calendar and you try to stay on point on which day you're gonna get your period, it's still not accurate enough, because at the end of the day, your body cycle works differently, because menstruation is a cycle that happens between 28 and 30 days. So it could happen within 28 days, 1 month, the next month it could be between like 30 days. So it's really your body, it depends on your body. So I think it should be a choice. There should be something brought in like menstrual leave or something like that.
The right and access to dignity is actually inscribed in our constitution, and it is protected by international human rights organizations. So the constitution needs to make provision for women to have their rights respected and also their access to dignity respected. I think just by virtue of that, all women should have access to menstrual leave.
The people talking about these things and, speaking on where there needs to be changes and what needs to stay the same on people that are like actually experiencing, what we are. And especially like from more disadvantaged areas, it's difficult. And we've been having these conversations for years, and, we're seeing little change. And we, the drives, we're doing what we can, but the people who are actually, that have the power, like that are actually supposed to be, bringing about the change, aren't doing it. They're not even speaking about it, which I feel like 100% with Lauren, it should be spoken about, by them, because they have the power.
My dream is to normalize having conversations around menstrual health.
My dream is for women to be liberated in every single way possible.
My dream is to see the South African government take women's rights more seriously.
My dream is for all menstruators to have the products and education they need to menstruate with dignity.
My dream is also for women to be prioritized systematically, women to be prioritized politically, economically, and socially. And also my personal dream is to create generational wealth so that my kids don't have to go through some of the things I've been through.
My dream is for women to stop being, killed and hurt, and instead protecting women and, looking out for us, basically.
Yeah, Z, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.